Yesterday was an active day. Just want to be clear about that. Despite folks being down on the ground, there was lots of activity happening. We were told earlier today that about 100 people were taken out of areas by ground, including Cedar Cove and other areas. Today, hopefully the weather cooperates and we'll get some helicopters up. We still have 16 helicopters available to us, including 3 Chinooks and 7 Blackhawks, so a lot of air resources available. At this point, our understanding is there's about 1,000 residents that are up in the various isolated areas in need of evacuation, and so that will be the priority when air is available, hopefully here soon. We reduced the number of unaccounted for parties to 398, and again, what I mentioned yesterday, that is at this point largely a mathematical exercise. We don't think the number will be nearly that high. But we're trying to account for people that have been evacuated, who self-evacuated when we send out the reverse notifications, and make sure that everybody's accounted for. We're asking those that have been evacuated to register through Red Cross's Alive and Well or safeandwell.org website, or call our joint information number at 970-498-5500. And certainly anybody who's not in contact with their loved ones who may have been in those areas and concerned about them can use those same resources to make contact and notify us of those parties. Some preliminary information from our Emergency Operations Center this morning, and these are just initial estimates that I'm sure will vary significantly, but at this point initial estimates show approximately 1,500 residential homes in Larimer County may have been destroyed at this point, so it's a very significant number. 4,500 homes potentially are damaged, and again, these numbers could fluctuate quite a bit, but just to give you a feel for the potential magnitude of this, there are an estimated 200 businesses that may have been destroyed, and about 500 businesses with various levels of damage in the county. As we mentioned previously, we're still at 2 confirmed missing parties who are presumed deceased. That number has not risen at this point. We still anticipate that, unfortunately, it's likely that it may. We certainly hope that it doesn't, and our thoughts and prayers go out to those folks that may have lost loved ones in this, and certainly we're concerned about those folks that are still isolated up in those areas and want to get them out as soon as possible as well. 3 dams have been confirmed as that failed in Larimer County. They're small earthen dams, so the impact was not significant, but those are all in the Big Elk Meadows area, the Sunset Dam, Mirror Lake Dam, and the Rainbow Dam. And again, they were small earthen irrigation type dams, but they all did, in essence, break or fail, causing additional flooding in that Lyons area in particular. That water came down through there early, I believe that was Thursday morning. Risk Canyon has minimal damage, so some good news there, though access is still cut off for many in that area. And Buckhorn Canyon has heavy damage. Poudre Canyon has minimal damage, and there's a lot of detail to that. It's still closed, but that should reopen certainly sooner than the Big Thompson Canyon, for instance, which has unfortunately sustained extensive damage at this point. In addition, the North Fork of the Big Thompson has extensive damage, as does the South St. Vrain area, which is part of the Highway 7 corridor. Some areas in Larimer County experienced a 100-year flood, meaning a flood event that would only happen every 100 years. Others experienced a 1,000-year flood, so something that would only happen every 1,000 years. It depends on where you are in the county, and I'm not an expert on that, but we have folks in our EOC, Emergency Operations Center, that are, and they provide us this information. So more detail will come out on those statistics as we go forward. And that's really all I have. I'm going to turn it over to Chuck Russell, our Deputy Incident Commander, to give you the operations update.
Yesterday, of course, was rainy and the clouds were low, so it was very difficult for us to get access with the aviation assets. So we weren't able to do that yesterday, unfortunately. But what we were able to do was get on the ground, and it's very interesting. A lot of these communities that are isolated, they are being very resourceful. There's leadership that's stepping up within each one of these isolated areas, and we're getting numbers out of and exactly information that we need to prioritize our response as soon as we can get the aviation assets up. We are able to work with the Forest Service on opening some roads to get access to some of those communities. That's the only access now is some of those Forest Service roads. Our emphasis on that is it's access out. It's not access back in. So any of those roads that we open up, it's going to be to get the individuals out. The roads, stability-wise, won't hold up to a bunch of travel. So that's going to be the key for that. So yesterday we were able to find some areas that we could get in by access, specifically up from the west, and we were able to get into some communities with some of the National Guard resources, some of the larger equipment that they have, and we were able to get some people evacuated via that route. Today's operational plan is we're hoping and praying that these clouds lift, and if that's the case, we've got the helicopters in place, we've got the resources that we need to get up into those communities and start evacuating people. We've prioritized where we're going to go based on the need as far as the input that we've been getting from the communities. There's communities that are letting us know that they're running low on water, they're running low on food. We have other areas that have medical emergencies, so we're prioritizing all of those areas as far as our response today. We did last night get 2 FEMA urban search and rescue teams in. They're 80 people per team. They come with a lot of capability. They come with physicians, paramedics, search and rescue capable people, swift water rescue capable, hazmat, engineers, very capable group. We're excited to integrate them in with our incident management team. And our plan today is when we insert them, there will be Larimer County Search and Rescue personnel that will go in with them. They have knowledge of the area, knowledge of the communities, and also representatives from the Sheriff's Department will also be on those flights that go in. And then, of course, we've got our leadership on the ground as far as our operations section goes. We've got a couple air attacks that are up above as the helicopters are flying today. They keep the airspace coordinated so that we don't have any issues. And of course, we've got utilities that are flying in and out too, and we've got to have accountability for all of those resources, which we do. And so far, that's what I have for you this morning.